Good girl!
Rescued from a backyard breeder, her visible ribs spoke of long-term neglect, but it was her eyes that told the full, heartbreaking story.
It can't be any more beautiful. I'm just definitely beautiful.
Sequoia had come from a backyard breeder, one of many dogs whose early lives had taught them nothing about comfort and very little about safety. She was thin that speaks to sustained neglect, her ribs visible beneath a coat that had not been well cared for. But it was her manner, more than her condition, that told the full story. She moved through the house the way a dog moves in a place where mistakes have consequences, slowly, carefully. She did not know what stairs were and had to be carried. She did not understand dog beds, so she slept on the floor. Toys held no meaning for her. The sound of the television sent her into a corner where she would press herself against the wall and go still, her ears flat, her breath shallow.
TV.
Almost like she was overstimulated.
Everything ordinary was overwhelming, and through it all, her expression remained the same, quiet, gentle, and somewhere just behind the eyes, deeply uncertain. Those first weeks asked a great deal of patience from Alyssa. She kept the house calm. She moved slowly around Sequoia. She gave her room without withdrawing presence, and she watched. She watched the way Sequoia tracked her movements from across the room, her head low but her eyes following. She watched the way the dog's body would tighten at a sudden sound, then gradually release. She watched for the small signals that something was shifting beneath the surface. They came slowly, and they came without announcement. Sequoia began sleeping a little closer to where Alyssa sat. She stopped flinching at the familiar sounds of the house. She began moving through rooms with something approaching ease, her steps quieter but no longer braced. The careful, provisional quality of her presence began to soften, almost imperceptibly at first, and then in ways that were unmistakable.
I'm not tired. 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 I'm not tired.
After a few months, the dog who had arrived too afraid to step out of a car began to show who she actually was. She became affectionate in a way that was unhurried and certain. She would climb onto the couch, settle across Alyssa's lap, and rest her head against her chest, not seeking reassurance, simply being close. It felt like something that had always been true finally finding its form. Because Alyssa worked from home, they spent most of their days together, and that steady presence built a bond that went both ways. Sequoia learned the rhythm of Alyssa's days the way dogs learn the things that matter. She rested nearby. She lifted her head when something changed. She watched the door when Alyssa left and was waiting, quietly, when she came back. The beach was the most interested to her. Sequoia stepped onto the sand and stood still for a moment, taking in the sound of the waves, the texture beneath her paws, the salt in the air. She ran into the water and back out, down the shoreline and circling back, her whole body given over to something that looked very much like joy. Alyssa stood at the water's edge and watched, and realized about the dog who had once refused to leave a car. There is something Alyssa does not talk around. Before Sequoia, she had lost her first dog, the one who had meant everything to her. That loss had closed something in her. She was not sure she could open it again. Sequoia did not replace what was gone. She simply, over time, made it possible to feel warmth again. Rescuing an animal changes their world, but looking at this journey, I often wonder who truly rescued whom. What are your thoughts on this? Let's share a moment in the comments.